1.
Sam!
Guys, I just hit Silver League. Yeah. Hey, everybody. It's Sam Bankman-Fried here. I'm here with my favorite cucumber. Just left the courthouse. I flew straight to Atlanta to host this very special episode of Discover Crypto, where we're going to be talking about my least favorite Cardano. We're going to talk about my most favorite Solana. And I have to mention XRP as well. We got some huge XRP news. And we're going to talk about the Bitcoin that I stole from you and try to sell to other people. Bitcoin's also making some major moves. But we got this very special guest from the lab. Not the lab where I get my pharmaceuticals, folks. That's a different lab. All right, that's a Pfizer lab. No, this is, we got the lab master himself right here. How are you doing today?
I need my red stapler and give me some stuff. I got to make Bitcoin go up.
He's got to make it go up. And guy, we have a founding father on the other station right now.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
I cannot tell a lie.
Okay. Well, I thought it was George Washington. Oh, wait a minute. Lincoln cannot tell a lie, but George Washington was also honest. I think they're all a bunch of dirty liars.
My wife's planning on taking me out to the theater tonight, so it should be a great night.
When did Sam become a man and grow some hair on his face? This is cut from my father's beard. So I cut my father's beard, and then I dyed it black, and then I glued it to my face, everybody. Happy Halloween. How are we all doing today? High school relived? No, I did. All right. Yeah, kind of. I was the first person in my high school to catch all 150 Pokemon on Game Boy. I am not kidding. That is a real thing. There was a group of us that played. I was the first to get all 3 EVs. I was the first to get all 3 starting Pokemon, and I was the first to get the Tauros. All right, let's get into the show, though. All right. Sam's here. Sam wants you to hit that like button. If you don't hit that like button, my leg starts twitching. So where are we at on the likes? I'm going to be monitoring it. Just like I'm playing Bronze League.
You came right out of the gates of 50. Let's keep it cooking. Let's keep this.
All right, let's keep it cooking, baby. Let's keep it cooking like some biker crank, which I will turn to if I can't get my pharmaceuticals. All right, guys, make sure you're watching the channel. We just put out a great Druth video. And what about this A/B testing on the video right there? Doesn't that make you want to watch the video? So what YouTube does is they'll test different 3-second clips, and they'll test 2 different clips of 2 different people. Oh, more people like that 3 seconds and that 3 seconds. And they'll do it again and again and again. Well, the algorithm landed on this is the most exciting 3 seconds. Don't you want to watch that video after that? You definitely do. Also, we're going to talk about a Bitcoin pump if this happens. And Drew put out a really good George Washington video. You guys are going to want to watch that. And I'm working on a Cardano video. It's going to blow your socks off, everybody. All right, make sure you follow. Just follow all the things, man. Follow me on Twitter. Hold on, let me move it a little bit here. Make sure you're. What is this over here? Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, we're also got Discover Crypto on there as well. Now it's time. I think it's time for us to look at the crypto market cap. Let's see what's actually happening here. Let's go on up. And we're down, baby. I need to hit refresh. Need to hit refresh just like I'm playing League of Legends. All right, we are down. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. You can see it right there. 0.9%. I need to move it down. I don't know why this thing keeps moving. Oh, we're almost there. Hey, there we go. All right, so you can see the market cap is down at 0.9%. 24-hour volume coming in at 54 billion. Bitcoin dominance coming close to 51%. ETH dominance 16.4. Gas coming in at 24 Gwei. All right, now let's look at the prices here. So here is the price of all the Bitcoin that I stole. Bitcoin is coming in at 34,213, down about 1% here. We have everything kind of heading down except for a couple key alts, folks. And we are going to talk more about XRP. We are going to talk more about my favorite coin, Solana. I love Solana more than I love cucumbers. That's how much I love Solana. Caroline can't even hold a candle to Solana. My real love is Yakovenko. Anatoly, shout out to the creator of Solana there. All right, let's look at Solana. Solana is up 4.1% today, so Solana looking good. Cardano up slightly, 1.5%. I couldn't pump it with my VC friends, folks. I tried. Tron, I called up Justin. Justin said, you know what? You need a 3% print. I got you, buddy. It's up 3%. Chainlink is looking good for the week, but it's still down 1% for the day, so it's not looking great, folks.
Still holding above $11, though. Holding above $11, that's something. I mean, yeah, it's holding strong, folks. Let's see. Let's go to the top gainers, folks. Now we need to see what is really, really moving. All right, moving faster than Bahamas real estate here. Number one is BTT BitTorrent. BitTorrent's up almost 10%. Then we have Cosmos. Adam is pumping. Kelly, were you going to look at some Cosmos for us later? I'm sorry. Who are you again?
I don't know if I'm a mad scientist or if I'm you after you get out of prison, because we got the same hair. I think this is just after I've gone insane from ODing.
Yeah, you're me after I've been making toilet wine for a few decades there. I got my bona fides in the sciences. Maybe I even got the prison pocket going. But anyways, all right. So we got Doc. I like Doc from Back to the Future.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm thinking Doc.
Yeah, whatever it is. We'll be breaking down some charts today.
Doc, can you break down the chart? I just made it with my mom, Doc.
Yeah. Hey, man, a lot going on. So let's get
into it. It's a good movie. All right, so what do we got? All right, but first, yeah, hey, I'm teasing it, baby. We're teasing some Adam chart stuff. We're going to look at Adam. Some are saying a little bit of a breakout is happening. And if you look at the charts, it's hard to see what I saw with my own eyes, and you're going to say, dang it, that is a breakout. So we're going to look at that. Don't you worry. Thor chain, Rune is up. Folks, man, how long ago did we do our Rune video? Because it is up 33% for the week. And I know part of that is just going to be, well, Bitcoin's pumping, so everything's pumping here. But we did a Rune video right around a really, really good time, and it is really moving. Was it Thor chain? Yeah. So 2 weeks ago, we did a Thor chain video, and Thor chain has been on a run lately. Let's just look. If you wanted to watch, with the notifications on, that'd be pretty cool if you did.
Not bad.
Folks, we were telling you to get in Thor literally down here. Hold on, let me zoom in a little bit more. We'll fix this eventually. Don't worry. We're going to have to get BJ in here, do some A/B testing. But yeah, we were telling you folks about Thor. Those who copy traded the channel there, you're up.
Can we look at the 90-day? Because we also did a shout out for it in the Crucial Crypto about 3 months ago. What's the 90-day look like on it? Let's see what the 90-day
even
looks.
Better.
Yeah,
even better.
Oh boy.
Yeah, look at that. So this is 90 days ago. We told you to check that out. Hey, the bunker's always ahead of the curve there, folks. That's just how the bunker goes. That's how the bunker rolls. The bunker's going to stay that way. Why? Because it's the bunker. All right. Besides those in the gainers here, we have XDC. We have Rollbit. I actually peeled off some Rollbit profits and I put it into Solana. So I'm actually down a little bit. I actually lost a little bit. I should have just kept it all there in Rollbit, even though it was price discovery mode here. Aptos is up, XRP up. All right. So we got a lot of good winners in the alt realm. Now let's go to the shadow realm. Okay. Let's go to the bronze realm. Let's go to the polycule mop bucket here. Number one loser today is Render. Render is down 11%. Axie Infinity is down. We said there might be a pullback. You need to start looking at other ecosystem coins there. So Axie Infinity down 7%. Flow down 6%. DYDX down 5%. And the graph back in a nice range. I know it hit around nickel at one point. Let's just click on the graph here. If we go to the 180-day. Okay, wow. Maybe it was actually a longer time ago. Maybe it was, it was way back here when it was hitting a nickel. I thought it actually got close to a nickel, the recent bearishness, but it did not. If we go to the 90-day here, oh man, that was a good entry point for the graph. The graph is up about 50% from that point there. Either of you in GRT?
I took a lot. I moved out of most of my altcoins August 4th. I'm only now just scaling back in, but I like graph long term.
Yeah, I basically pulled out all my graph into profit early 2021. I think I put it into ETH, but then I think at some point, maybe a year and a half ago, I saw that there's a graph quiz on Coinbase, and I got like $3 a graph for free. And then that $3 just looks stupid. So I think I bought like $97 worth or like $200. I don't know. I bought more. Just all right. Let's just get a nice round number there. So yeah, the graph is looking good. All right. I think that's about it we have for the losers. Now, I think it's just time for us to talk. It's Halloween, but Halloween's a special time in Bitcoin land. And the reason it's a special time in Bitcoin land because it's the white paper birthday, folks. Today is the day that Satoshi Nakamoto released the white paper, which was the genesis for Bitcoin, which is the genesis for us all being here. It is the reason I'm wearing a wig today. That's how powerful it was, folks. I've been working on a new electronic cash system, Satoshi said, that's fully peer-to-peer with no trusted third party. He wrote this in an email, 2008, October 31st. So the Bitcoin white paper today turns 15. 3 more years, Leo DiCaprio is going to be really into it. Today marks 15 years since Satoshi Nakamoto shared the white paper to his mailing list of the OGs, the OG cryptographers. A date also, hey, in case you didn't know, that date is also annually celebrated as Halloween, a little obscure holiday you maybe have heard of. All right, so I've been working on the new, it's peer-to-peer, no trusted third party. The main properties, double spending is prevented. No mint or other trusted parties. Participants can be anonymous. New coins are from hash cash style proof of work, and the proof of work for new coin generation also powers the network to prevent double spending. I think hash cash, Nick Szabo maybe invented that. Maybe someone fact checks me on that one. All right, the white paper proposed a decentralized system that can facilitate peer-to-peer transactions, which could solve the double spending problem often associated with digital currency. It's proposed to achieve this, a network of nodes to validate and record transactions, launched just 2 months later, January 3rd, 2009. I say it was 64 days later. The first reference cited in the Bitcoin white paper is, I think I'm saying this right, Wei Dai's invention of B-money.
Wei Dai.
Wei Dai. Okay. Yeah. Wei Dai's invention of B-money. That was the peer-to-peer cash system that never launched, but nonetheless played a key role in Satoshi's plan for Bitcoin. B-money proposed that participants maintain a database of account balances, which we call the distributed ledger. Here we have the cypherpunks and the fathers. Hal Finney. Let me just go back here. Hal Finney, Adam Back, Wei Dai, David Chom, Nick Szabo, BitGold. That's what I was talking about earlier. Phil Zimmerman, Bram Cohen, and Tim May. And of course, Satoshi Nakamoto. Some say Hal Finney was Satoshi. Some say it was Adam Back. Some say it was a group of people. Some say you'll never know. Some say it was the CIA. What do you say, chat? What do you two say?
Well, I mean, we got to pay homage to these, forefathers of digital currencies, because some people think that Bitcoin was the first, and the truth is it's the first that really was able to take hold because it solved that Byzantine generals problem.
Yep.
Which is
all right.
the idea
that you
trust.
Lose people at that. Explain that like I'm 5. Byzantinians generals problem.
Well,
I can kind of, if you don't.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
All right. So basically, you got a general. He's going to surround the rampart, the castle grounds, right? And he wants to do a siege if something happens. Well, how do the people on the west side communicate with the people on the east side? They could not. So if the one guy shoots the flaming arrow, which is going to initiate the jousters, how do the people on the left communicate with the people on the right if it happened on one side and not? So that is what they call Byzantine generals problem right there. It was an unsolvable problem where a bunch of people in a network don't know what everyone else is doing, I guess. That's kind of the simplified way. I don't know. Maybe you have a better explanation.
No, I mean, that's basically it. In addition to this idea of trust, we have this other party that we've always needed to rely on. We've always needed to rely on somebody that they were the arbiter of truth. And we've seen this all the way back into the Medici banking family. We've seen this throughout the centuries with currencies and the issues of having to need to trust somebody because trust is always corrupted. So with Bitcoin, with all this different evolution that we've had through the predecessors in digital currency, we basically got to the point where they were finally able to, because we had computational power as well as network effects from the internet, the ability to have a trustless, and it sounds so weird to somebody that doesn't understand it, but that's what you want with currency, trustless. You don't want to need to trust somebody that they're telling you the truth and the books that they're showing you is real. So what does Bitcoin do? Everybody on network that's in the, all the different miners confirming blocks, they're all agreeing that all the different transactions are exactly what they should be. And so this is why Bitcoin's immutable. And this is why this sort of Bitcoin birthday of the white paper is absolutely something that's incredible, but it kind of is lost on people and how many different problems in this world is going to solve, because we still have not even identified a fraction of them.
Read our messages. Okay, just did. NSA, DARPA, CIA, the Egyptians. I like these guesses. Let's keep these guesses going. Some money for your book, Sam. $2 super chat from Army Piper. Appreciate it. I'm vegan, and so I don't know if the commissary has cucumbers, but I think ramen noodles is vegan, right? So I can eat ramen.
Take a bite.
Oh, no, that's not happening. What do you think I am? What do you think is my first time on camera? Yeah. Never. You'll never catch DZ eating the glizzy. Maybe SBF, but not DZ. How come no one gives credit to Bernard von Nothaus? We did just now, Hyben, and you started that. All right, let's see. Spook that like button by smashing. I want you to scare your keyboard into submission. All right, now back to Bitcoin here. So we also have, here's the white paper itself. If you want to check it out, it's, I think, 15 pages, right? Let's see. Nope, eight pages here. 8 pages of awesomeness, some would say. Some say it's changed the world. And the Bitcoin halving clock, it will fluctuate. Not every block is exactly 10 minutes. There's going to be, differences in when the hashing rate changes there. We are 164 days from the 2024 halving date. Estimated 413. So that's how you remember. 413, it's just a week from 420. The week before 420, and then we can celebrate. But I think it's time
to celebrate with Kelly here. Celebrate with the charts. Now, there's a couple things people want to see. They want to see Cosmo/Atom. What is Atom doing? Is there a real breakout happening? And maybe some XRP stuff. XRP is really moving in the top 20, top 50 coins here.
Yeah, let's. I'm going to go very quickly through some of the coins you talked about. Cosmos first. Let's look at this. I mean, this trend line goes all the way back. Let's go on the daily. Goes all the way back to March of 2020. Wow. February, March 2022.
That's nuts.
And we're just breaking out of this. Come on, double click. There we go. Just breaking out of this zone. And where do we find resistance? Well, you can always look left. Why did it stop there? Look, previous lows. The lows are the range we broke down from. So this is a great thing that's happening right now. And people think that because it's not running away, that might not be bullish. No, this is bullish as it can be. Because if we come down here on the 4-hour charts, for instance, we can see we broke that key level of resistance, came back, found support, broke past it, got a little higher. And now we're setting up for having very strong bullish moves if we can hold above this line. And we're doing the work, building it brick by brick. Now, the next level up, if it does continue, is the high side of this range. Now, notice on the BitLab volume, got all these order blocks directly above us too. So there's going to be a lot of liquidity interest, directly above us here from 824 all the way up to 854. Once we take that out, then we maybe making moves up towards $10. Do you hold Adam?
I don't. It's a coin. It's an older coin. It's one that I've been looking at. It's just, it fails the DZ metric of a second all-time high in 2021 in the second half of the year. So it topped with Bitcoin in the first half. It didn't get that run up in the second half in October, November. And so to me, that's an indication of a poor community, if I'm going to say it. Maybe it has a strong community as far as numbers, but they don't believe in the token and they're just trying to dump the token to gain Satoshis. That's kind of what I see with the Atom community. I know there's a lot of strong builders, but I just I prefer coins that had a second all-time high in 2021.
Well, let's talk what everybody keeps talking about lately, and that is Solana. Looking here at Solana, we got
my favorite coin.
Yeah, we got the BitLab trading stack up, calling these reversals perfectly, and we're seeing that we're right in here in this sort of bizarre sort of rising wedge that attaches all the way back here, breakdown from here, resistance. We're coming up into this zone now.
There's still a little room to play here.
Still a little room to play.
Caroline, go ahead and buy that Hermes bag, baby. It's all yours.
Yeah. But we got these teal candles too, which means that there's a lot of buying volume. But this is on the 3-day. Let's get a little bit more local, what people want to see. What's happening today? Well, as it stands right now, we are sitting here above the weekly VWAP. Right here, we're also above the trend signal line, above the 20 moving average and EMA ribbon, but we're getting pinched right into the zone. So if price action does pull back, I'm looking for a level to hold right here, right above basically 29.83 would be a good opportunity if this does get any sort of rejection before loading up. Now, if we break through this, watch for the retest. If we do break through the zone, watch for a retest and buy that rather than trying to front run this on leverage and then getting washed out, because there's going to be liquidity grabs left and right coming into this next 2 or 3 months, 4 months going into the halving. So be very patient with the moves you're making. Buy them on confirmed moves. Now, you also brought up Rune. Rune was looking very interesting. Looking here, we've got a lot of lines on the chart. So let's kind of zoom out. What are they? Well, we have this trend line here that we actually just rejected off of. We have this lower trend line. We have basically two different versions of a rising wedge here. But it is showing a lot of sort of concerted power to the upside. But my question is going to be, where is it going to pull back to? Is it going to pull back to here, which is also just above this high? Or is it going to break through and find that confirmed breakout, that confirmation of the breakout? As it stands right now, a lot of the indicators are showing mixed signals. Sorry, there, option Z.
Enhance.
All this bullishness here on the BitLab, the dashboard here, but we do see the momentum's rolled over, but the stochastics have reset. So this is looking more bullish than not as we see it right here, but I do think there's going to be a little bit of a cooling off period in the zone. So watch for holding above this trend signal line at 250 to 260 in this region. But things are looking good. Things are feeling good. You know, I just wanted to point out here on the active address sentiment indicator, each time this active address basically breaks these, essentially kind of similar to a Bollinger Band, but what's that?
To the left a little. To the left.
I don't know how to do that.
Zoom in and then move it, maybe. Oh, he doesn't have the pad.
Yeah.
We don't have pad for Kelly.
Sad. We need to fix that. We'll get you set up.
Oh, hey, we're figuring it out. We have the technology. No, the sweet spot was 3 unzooms. There you go.
It won't. Oh, you know what?
We're trying.
Can I go like this? No, it doesn't matter. Essentially, what we're seeing all the way to the right-hand side is this is peaking out again on the right-hand side. So this is indicating there may be some time on Bitcoin that we need to watch for a little bit of a cooling of all this activity, which, you know, as we see right now, we are right in this zone. We've talked about it. If we do, everybody's seeing this bull flag. The target of the bull flag's up here at 41. 40,800, 40,900. If you're only taking profits when it hits that exact target, you may be left holding the bag because we've got a lot of stuff basically front running where that level is, better opportunities to take profit so you don't get left holding the bag. So my argument there is always look for multiple exits and multiple entries. So if you do take this trade on a breakout, take a little bit off the table in this region and then just move your stop loss up. If it continues moving up, then you get to take profit there. If it reverses, then you get closed out because the market moved against you. But as it stands right now, we're looking a little bit bearish here on the daily. We see all this bearishness on the dashboard here. Stochastics are rolling over, the momentum's rolling over. So I'd just be careful, watch for a little bit of a liquidity grab in this region. I do think at some point we are coming back to this line right here because we do that regularly on bullish movements, and that would be right about the $32,000 level. So that's what I'm seeing on the markets. Be patient. Things are moving. Things are feeling good. XRP, I mean, yes, we made a move, but in the context of things, have we really made a move? I mean, we haven't even gotten to, we have not even gotten to the golden pocket yet. We're still testing the 382 here. So don't be so quick to just be absolutely bullish on something just because we got some movement. Wait for a little bit of this movement to actually test up into this region. But things are shaping up. I think we're just going to need a little bit of cooling off. That's what the mad scientist has got. Head to the Discord after this. All you BitLab members, we're doing live streams throughout the week around noon and different times as well. Today we'll be at noon in the Discord breaking down charts on request. So we'll see you in the Discord after the show.
All right. Bob from Accounting question. If you take profits off, doesn't that reduce the amount of crypto you have? Yes. Here's why it's good for 2 reasons. One, sure, maybe if you time the top, it's not the great thing, right? It's going to be bad. You're going to have less Bitcoin. But here's why it's a good thing. One, you can never time the exact top. So you're just kind of scaling in and scaling out. If you do that, you will time the top just, with your multiple exits there. So you can't time the top, first point. Second point, though, I just want to make real quick. Second point is here, we have less money. If there's a dip, then you have more tokens that you can buy. Go ahead.
I should also point out.
Third point.
I'm talking about more specifically those of you that are trading. If you have a trading allocation of your portfolio, the trades is what I'm talking about, taking profits. If you're a long-term investor, which most people should be, then you're not just taking profits on small moves. You're basically identifying somewhere near a market cycle top or, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years in the future. So I'm talking specifically to those of you that are out there swing trading and scalping, that's when you're taking profits. Long-term investors, just look for those dip buying opportunities.
Well, I'll say this. If you're in some 2022 lows and you got some 10Xs, feel free to take some profits. And then when a new coin launches, then, maybe redeploy here. Yeah. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin now, though. So we have a couple rumors here, and then we're going to talk more about the alts. We're going to talk about XRP. SEC to greenlight spot Bitcoin ETF November 2nd. A lawyer spots a clue here. I'm probably going to have to zoom in a little so I can move it. Eventually, we will figure this out. Today is not the day, however. I don't care. I'm just going to do that. All right. Scott Johnson, a notable attorney from Davis Polk, shed light on a clue of an approval of a spot ETF. Here's the main point, though. Speculation arises from the SEC not appealing Grayscale's bid to convert. So it's not talking about BlackRock filed something, VanEck filed something, Vanguard filed something. No, this is an existing ETF that was futures-based, and now they're trying to amend it to spot. So it's a little bit different than what we're seeing from BlackRock and everything else. Those are, hey, we just have a delay. We can, maybe we rule on March, maybe we rule in January. Who knows when we're going to rule on this? This was an attempt to switch a futures to a spot. They did not appeal it. Essentially, the speculation is they should have said something and they haven't said anything else. So they had a meeting in the past. The meeting was around the 26th. I think there was one even before that on the 14th here. And then Bloomberg was informed that their SEC is poised to allow the first ETF to begin trading after they're filed under mutual fund rules. Essentially, just 2 days after this, there's a leak about the closed door meeting, and no one's saying anything is what's standing out here. So despite these hopeful signs, some do believe that might unexpectedly turn the tables on the spot ETFs. They're saying this is a possible Gensler semi-comedic rug pull. Okay. Now, the people we're listening to, James and Eric, they say this move would be amazingly sadistic. So I would say it's pretty unlikely. I'm still looking for March. Maybe it's January, but I'm still thinking it's going to be March here. Drew, what do we got going on with that window? A little behind the scenes here inside baseball. Is everything
Kelly's
okay?
Computer. It's Kelly's computer. He's on that tab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, are you okay? Are you about to have is
it's
wires about to start melting?
It's triggering my isms. So
what? Can I change something? What are you talking about?
I'll come over there and help you. You go. You keep
No,
going.
you got it on the first tab. You have the VMix tab open.
Yeah.
That's all. That's
because
all.
I was watching your article.
Yeah. All right. So here's just some ETF numbers here. So for spot ETFs, we have all these asset managers. I just named a few of them: BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, Van Eck. What are the actual numbers, though? Here's just a very simple, cool graphic. BlackRock, 9.4 trillion. Fidelity, 4.5. Invesco, 1.5. Franklin Templeton, Wisdom Tree, Van Eck, Global, ARC, Valkyrie, and Bitwise. Total, $17 trillion. Conversion application, so Grayscale. Okay, so it'd be 15 for that right there because the Grayscale premium there. All right, or discount, I should say. Tom Lee, though, says Bitcoin surges due to genuine institutional buying. An ETF can be $100 million daily demand. We're talking about the 100K transactions. There's only two things that could really be at the end of the day. Institutions buying Bitcoin or miners capitulating, selling on retail. So someone is moving these large chunks of 100K plus Bitcoin transactions. It's not me buying. It's not Drew buying. It's not the lab rat buying. Okay. Typically, it's probably not you at home buying. You know, I don't know how many people are just regularly buying 6-7 figure Bitcoin trades there, but someone is doing it. Who is doing it? Well, a lot of it is anonymity. We don't know who this newly created wallet address belongs to. I'm guessing there's some number of it has to be these institutions. Some number has to be a BlackRock adjacent entity, maybe saying, all right, now maybe is the time to buy some Bitcoin. Let's not just all buy a whole bunch March. Why don't we scale in? That's my 2 cents here. So people are saying, no, it is institutional buying. An ETF can be $100 million daily demand here. So he's the co-founder of Fundstrat Global Advisors. And so it's just him outlining his bullish outlook there. It looks like he was on the Squawk Box, CNBC Market Alert here. Well, he's saying there's been a resurgence of interest from Asian markets, which were previously absent from the Bitcoin scene. Researchers know this renewed interest reflects a genuine desire among big money investors to enter the market. If big money investors, Asian markets are going to be better than American markets. They just have more reps in the markets. They time it. China will literally ban Bitcoin when it's at its peak. Why? So their citizens dump on U.S. citizens. And then when it's at the bottom, they'll roll back like 3 of the 10 rules, kind of signaling to the whales there, hey, now's the time to start pumping it. So then we can start dumping it later. Maybe it's a little, I hope that doesn't come off as xenophobic. I think that's just kind of the reality of the situation there. All right, let's talk about crypto exchanges here.
Hold on 1 second. I just want to talk,
jump in.
This chart right here is really interesting because I actually even looked more into it while we're sitting here. There's been $613 million year to date of institutional money flowing into Bitcoin, 125 million out of Ethereum, 98 million, the next largest one, into Solana. Now, the interesting thing about this isn't these numbers. It's the fact that month to date, in October, 409 million of that 613 million for Bitcoin for the year, 409 million have been in this month alone, 296 in the last week alone. So what this is showing is that there's been a scaling up of institutional flow of capital into the crypto ecosystem. And this also is echoed by the comments from Larry Fink talking about that they were going to be seeding their ETF in October. And it's not just going to be them. It's going to be 21 Shares. It's going to be Bitwise. It's going to be all these different spot ETFs as well as institutions because we just changed the FASB rules, the fair value accounting. And so then we're going to see an increase of this exponentially along with retail that's not already in. We're going to see an explosion of retail coming in behind institutions. But every single one of you that's in right now, you can smash the like button because you got in before the institutions this time. And believe me, they are coming.
Didn't get in before me, Sam Bankman-Fried. Ha ha, I dumped on you after I stole your Bitcoin. If that were true, these institutions are buying. Well, we would see a mass exodus of coins from exchanges. That's exactly what we're seeing. We got some updated data for you here. Over $2 billion in Bitcoin pulled from exchanges in the past 90 days. We peaked, around 2.5 million recently, and now we are scarcely above 2 million. That means nearly 500,000 Bitcoin have been pulled off exchanges in just under a year there. So under a year, 500,000 Bitcoin pulled off. There's really not that many Bitcoin floating around here. So that is a very, very large number. So the facts are kind of giving weight to this claim. You know? So I'm feeling more and more bullish about, BlackRock, are they secretly buying? We don't know. We don't know. All we know is it's starting to look like what it looks like. It's starting to feel like what it looks like is what's happening here. And that is a very good thing. It appears that these institutions are buying some Bitcoin, that they are stacking up these giant institutional BlackRock hedge fund wallets for the Bitcoin ETFs that are going to be launched, presumably within the next 4 or 5 months here. All right, let's jump a little bit here. Remind me to fix the left side of that. I'm just going to jump over there and fix it myself later. All right, Drunken Miller, he's calling Bitcoin a brand he should probably own. Kind of, important because it's a billionaire hedge fund manager. Jumps on TV a lot, and a lot of people listen to him. A lot of the rich, old, stodgy people, they like this guy here. So he doesn't own any Bitcoin and admits that's possibly a mistake. If you watch our BlackRock video, we saw the same thing with Larry Fink. 7 years ago, he's like, yeah, it's just an index of money laundering. Oh, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Then, a few years later, it's like, I guess we could have bought some. It probably would have been good. And then a few years after that, we like it and we're buying it because there's a demand from our customers. Well, right now, Drunken Miller, he's kind of halfway through. He went from, it's crap, it's rat poison, I would never touch this. Now hey, it was possibly a mistake. I didn't buy any. Where do you think he's going to be 2 years from now at the peak of the bull run? Yeah. I'm assuming he's going to be very, very bullish.
And he was noting a lot of the new money is coming out of Silicon Valley. A lot of that new money is more interested in digital currencies rather than the old guard. He's taking acknowledgement of that. He's opening up. So.
Yeah, I love the quote here. I don't own any Bitcoin, to be frank, but I should. So that's just good stuff. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to do a Frankie Candles impression. All right, guys, I don't know any Bitcoin, but to be frank, I should. And make sure you hit that like button because we're in the Frankie Candles Mafia chat and hit that like button. All right, that was my Frankie.
But that's going to be...
I got to work on that one. I don't live with them anymore, so I've lost it.
That's going to be the pervasive commentary and what we're seeing within different large asset managers over the next, 3 years. We're going to see exponential growth. You just showed $17 trillion in assets under management of all those different institutions that are involved with Bitcoin spot ETFs. It doesn't mean that we're going to have $17 trillion come in, but there's going to be a percentage of exposure, and it's going to be based on what sort of risk each one of those want to take on. And the question is it more risky to hold more Bitcoin in your portfolio, or is it more risky to hold more dollar value in US dollar assets, right? So I think that we're going to start seeing a 1, 2, 3, in some cases 4 or 5%, but it's probably going to be on the smaller percentage basis. But even, what's 5% of 17 trillion? It's an astronomically large number in billions of money.
It's 850 billion.
Yeah, $850 billion. And that's just from assets that are allocated from those portfolios. That doesn't account for retail. That doesn't account for people that are coming in the other parts of the world. It doesn't account for so much. There's so much money that I think that we're going to have a super cycle that's going to outpace what we saw in this last cycle. However, the question is, and this is a question for you, DZ, is this going to change the shape of how this next bull market moves? Because if we're having large asset managers moving into the space with pension funds and union funds and all these ETF essentially, are they going to be taking profit so we don't get blow off tops once we pass previous all-time highs? And are we going to get a different shape, or is it going to be long-term held? Because there's no way to really predict how this next cycle is going to end.
Okay,
I just know it's going to be massive.
Here's my quick take on it. Normally we see about an 85% correction. Maybe reduce that 10%. Maybe it's only 75 or 65% at the next time, because so much of the coins are held by the large institutions, not the miners this time. We just don't mind dumping to zero. It's going to be BlackRock, who has to have
X amount because that's what they have with these pension funds, with these retirement accounts, and with the other hedge funds that they all kind of own. I am reading your questions here. We're going to save maybe a few for the end. Palau e-residency. I'm interested in it. I haven't done it myself. It's not for any U.S. folks have any luck using this for certain exchanges. That's my gist there. I would use it to sign up to an exchange, maybe not open up for U.S. residents there. I haven't tried it myself, but I know CZ was recommending it when he was a little bit more, when he had more freedom of speech. He does not have freedom of speech today. No one really has freedom of speech today except canceled people. But CZ at one point was like all about it. He doesn't tend to give terrible advice often. Usually pretty good advice. Yeah. So, it's something I'm going to look into. I just haven't done it yet. I actually pulled off my wax from KuCoin, and I still have like 7 other coins I got to pull off. So I'm in the process. I will update you guys as I open up that new exchange overseas with my Palau thing. I just haven't done it yet. And those who are wondering, it's just, you pay like $20, $100, and you get an e-residency to a Pacific Island nation. And then you could use that to trade on exchanges not open to your country. And so that's what that's all about. Alpha. All right, let's talk about Ripple, though. Let's rip the Band-Aid off and talk about Ripple. I'll rip the wig off. It's not. All right, sewed it in. Ripple Labs, they got another partnership, folks. Fubon Bank, they teamed up for what was this? Hong Kong EKD Home Equity Venture here. So in collaboration with Fubon Bank, this is designed to provide Hong Kong residents with easier access to their home equity. It's part of a pilot program which aims to reshape the lending and real estate sectors in the region there. I will say this, owning your own property is the easiest way to get your nation out of poverty there. Hence, the home equity line of credit projects is the next logical step in realizing these objectives. So just another Asian collaboration. So good for Ripple Labs there. There's more, though. There's also the Middle East. XRP Healthcare enters Dubai, partners Burnratty Investment Group for an IPO. So yet another expansion here. So if you do want to have it where it's going to be, moving data quickly and easily back and forth in a secure manner, it doesn't have to be finances. It doesn't have to be a store of value. But it feels some in the healthcare range. So they are pioneering pharmaceutical and a healthcare platform. So maybe it's going to be healthcare data. Maybe it's a little bit of logistics as well. So another rollout for XRP. And I think, some of these were the catalysts for the little pump that we saw. XRP and Ripple co-founder invests. And then I think this one, though, is the biggest headline. $500 million in NVIDIA chips for AI innovation. I think there's still wind in the AI train. So you whisper it, AI. You can get a 10% bump in your equity for your company there. So it tends to happen. It's still hot. It hasn't turned lukewarm just yet here. Let's see. Can we get to 200 likes? Where are we at right now?
194.
Woo!
We're almost there.
6 away.
We can do 300.
Do
Get
it.
real.
Do it. Everybody hit the like every time I move a bang here.
Yeah.
Dressing up as someone who knows when to take profit. Hey, I did not say I can outtrade SBF. I think most people can't. Just look at what he did with the kimchi premium there.
Yeah,
I think people say he's a good trader.
He took other people's profits, let's be honest.
Yeah, is it really trading if I say, give me a bunch of your money and I'll hold it for you, and then I just go buy mansions and give a bunch of money to politicians?
And manipulate price to your favor.
Manipulate price. And also, I hang out with some athletes, and don't forget, I'm powered by cucumber, folks.
It's true.
Do not underestimate the power of veganism. All right, let's see. As a Russian, I could drop as Ukrainian for Halloween. I don't know how that'll go. Depends on your neighborhood, probably. What's the exchange for e-residency? Palau. Palau. I haven't looked into it myself. It's just, I've seen other people recommend it. Deezy, I've been loading up links since $5. Would you take profit at this level? Kelly, do you think a pullback is imminent? I'm not taking link profits. I made the mistake of buying a bunch of link years ago. I bought it for $2 and then I sold it for $4 and later it went to $50. I'm not going to try to repeat that mistake. If I'm going to take a small amount of profit, say that 10%, I'm more comfortable in the high 20s. Kelly, do you think a pullback's imminent?
I do think a pullback's in store, and it's going to be somewhat.
Oh yeah, that chart definitely looks like
it's going to be somewhat tied to what happens with Bitcoin. I do think Bitcoin at some point, whether it's now or once we push up to 38K and then have a very hard to handle for those that aren't prepared pullback. I do think we're going to hit that $33,000 level again and clear out a lot of liquidity. But as it stands right now, this is still looking very strong. Stochastics reset, but RSI is rolling over. So it's looking like it's kind of waiting to follow the leader because this is a pretty big move. I mean, we are in this large This was 500 and something days, 539 days that we were trading sideways in a somewhat descending parallel channel. So I do think we're going to have some sort of pullback here. I don't know if it's going to be today, but I do think it's going to be happening here in the near future.
All right. Well, speaking of the near future, AI is on everyone's mind here. Now, back to the XRP story here. 500 million from Jed, and I think XRP took a part in this. So, injected close to 500 million in cutting-edge semiconductor technology. What do they have going on? Well, they just happen to have 24,000 of the newer high-end NVIDIA chips, establishing itself as a dependable source for AI computing solutions here. And this move, it was essentially a lot of compute power will be a new oil in the near future. And so they're just getting ahead of the curve. They're probably going to be a compute power for hire. So you need us to do your large language model for, X amount of processing things for 10 days, 24 hours a day. You hires us. All right, we're starting on July 5th. We'll end on the 15th. Now give me $20 million. It seems like a pretty good business model to me. But I think we have a special guest today. And we're going to, oh yeah, he's got a similar, he didn't need a wig if he was going to dress as this Halloween outfit. I'm a little jealous. Yes, I'm seething with jealous rage as I look at his follicles. How are we doing today? Can I hear you here? Oh, wait. Let me sign in.
How about now?
Yeah, we're good to go. We're good to go. How are you doing, Moby?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we got similar haircut, similar style,
I can see that, man. You swagger jacking me.
Man. But do you have the FTX shirt? Do you have the FTX shirt?
I don't have the FTX shirt, but I have the FTX journal.
Woo, man, that makes me want to take a bite out of this cucumber, but no, you're not going to clip that. So what do we got going on today, Moby?
I think it's pretty quiet today. I was looking through the news and we're going sideways, but I think that the fact that we have just been chilling at 34K is a great sign. I think people have flooded in since they've heard that this ETF is probably, or these series of ETFs is probably going to get passed sometime in the near future. And you have guys like Larry Fink coming out and calling Bitcoin a potential flight to quality or a flight to quality. And so I think people want to get in ahead of the pack. And I think we all know that once these do get passed, it's going to be as simple as going into your Fidelity account and clicking a few buttons or calling up your financial advisor and saying, hey, I want to allocate 50 to 100 basis points to Bitcoin. And that money floods in. I don't want to say I know what the future is going to look like, but if I was a betting man, I'd say Bitcoin is going to be worth a lot more in 5 years than it is today. I'm more of a long-term guy. I don't really look out 3-4 months. And I kind of advise my friends the same thing. Hey, if you want to buy Bitcoin, it's never really a bad time to buy. Just buy, hold for 5 years and you're going to be all right.
All right, let me ask you a question here. We went December 2017 top, November 21 top. Are you predicting a September, October 25 top? Dude, technically 4-year cycles, 3 years and 10 months.
Yeah. So I hate to try to predict the future based on the past, but if I line up this bear market and line up the previous bear market, the bottoms and tops are almost identical. It's kind of odd. So
yeah, and especially if you remove the March 2020 crash and just kind of make that more of a straight line versus like a insane 60-day period with a crazy drop and a crazy bounce back. It's almost a perfect match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I certainly agree. And so who knows? It could be different. But again, if my girlfriend asked me if it's a good time to buy Bitcoin, and I said, your time horizon depends on whether it's a good time to buy Bitcoin. And she said, it's 4 to 5 years. I said, yeah, buy and hold. So I'm holding and buying. I'm buying and holding for the long run. I'm also bullish on Ethereum as well. And I know you guys want to talk about altcoins, but I don't think alt season is quite here, contrary to what we're seeing on crypto Twitter with a lot of the influencers screaming alt season and telling people to load their bags.
Well, I've been looking at that Bitcoin ETH just trading pair there, and it does feel like it's trying to, maybe bounce off some key levels here. I don't know if I could share my chart here, but this is the Ethereum Bitcoin trading pair. You can see all the way back in June 22, we're bouncing around certain levels here. And then hold on, I'll get to it almost there. Is that that's your chart, right? No, that's yours, right? Moby?
That's me.
Okay, that's Kelly. Well, if Kelly, you kind of circle the June area, and then right now we're bouncing directly off that area, definitely a point of contention. Does it look like we're going to fall through that or bounce off that, or maybe just trade sideways?
Man, I don't know. And this makes me nervous because I've been accumulating more ETH than I have Bitcoin over the last
you
year.
are betting on a bounce. Oh, well, over the past year. More recent than 12 months ago.
So I mean, I'm not a trader and I'm not a chart reader, but if you do look at the chart, you can see that from a Satoshi level, from a Satoshi perspective, ETH is close to where it was near the crash last year and close to where it was before the big run up in early 2021. Yep. So I would, if I was gonna yield to my chart reading friends, I would say that ETH is probably prime for a run up, but if it breaks, then it breaks, and we'll see where it goes. Thing is, this is where all the activity is happening, though, right? This is where all the people get into Bitcoin first. They get into Bitcoin as a store of value, as a safe haven, as the flight to quality, as they call it. And then they want to learn more about what's being built. They want to learn more about the tech. Well, all the fun stuff is happening on ETH. And then they, mess around on ETH. They realize that gas fees are a little bit too pricey, and they move on to layer 2s or alt layer 1s.
Well, look at this trend line I just formed. Can we share my screen? Is that possible? We got all the screens. We got your screen. We got Kelly's screen. We got Caroline Ellison's diary screen. I got all the screens up right now. No, I just moved the trend line accidentally. Hold on. All right, we got it back. Nope, maybe. All right, here we go. Here's the trend line. So you can see it. This is the ETH Bitcoin trading pair. So I'm predicting maybe a little bit of a bounce, but you see, we go back. This is all the way back. Wow, this is about 15 months ago. So 15 months ago, we bounce off there. Well, let's keep going back. Well, shoot. Now we're like 3 years from now, almost 4, right? This is the early part of 21. So now another bounce off the line right there. Well, this thing goes all the way back to 2019. So this is quite the. Oh, I didn't even run it up that far. Yeah, this is a serious trend line. So I'll be watching this trend line. Oh, stupid trend line, stupid trading view in this mouse. Yeah, very strong trend line right there. I'm going to be watching that, and you know what? I feel like a bounce. I'm guessing a bounce. If I had to choose, I'm in Vegas. I got to bet one direction. I think ETH dominance bounces from here. Would you agree?
Yes, I would agree, and I would hope so. And I would also point out that big run up in early 2021 correlated with the interest and adoption of DeFi, of NFTs. Say what you want about early DeFi, say what you want about early NFTs. It correlates with interest in decentralized applications and activity that's happening on Ethereum. So I don't know what the next big wave of innovation is. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. I think a lot of people are waiting for that. And so if it does happen on Ethereum, if it does happen on the EVM, then I think it's a bullish indicator.
All right. I'm feeling good too. Now, if you were to choose an alt besides ETH, ETH, let's just say ETH does start to bounce. What do you expect to gain the most from that? Is it going to be the meme tokens? Is it going to be the top 20 alts, maybe tangentially connected, like say a Chainlink or something, or maybe even a Matic? It's pulling up Matic. Or is it, none of the above? What do you think here?
Yeah, I mean, I think Chainlink is great because it's infrastructure that everyone's using. I'm not a big meme token person, although it's not sometimes to my detriment because people have made a lot of money off of meme tokens, and you can't refute the power of the community behind these tokens. I'm actually really excited about Arbitrum. I think a lot of people are, screaming Solana. A lot of people are screaming XRP, but the fastest growing layer 2 right now is Arbitrum. If you go to DeFi Llama, the highest layer 2 or the highest chain apart from Ethereum by 24-hour volume is Arbitrum. So I'm really excited about Arbitrum. I think that it's a nice risky play, at least risky for me, for my portfolio. And I've been accumulating a bit of Arbitrum. It still is dwarfed by the activity and the unique addresses on Ethereum, but it's still also way ahead of Optimism, of Base, of zkVM, of Solana. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty bullish about Arbitrum. What about you?
Well, I'm looking at the price chart. It does look like a semi-bullish price structure. If anything, I was bearish on. It's the circulating supply versus max supply. 12%. Well, I'll round up. 13% of the tokens are released.
That's still 87.5% of the tokens yet to be released. So that would be my only, bucket of cold water to dash on anybody.
Sure.
But that being said, you can use that argument as a positive. So that just basically means, all right, well, who holds the 87%? Is it people like you and me? No, it is VC, it is big money, it is institutions. Will an institution get a token unlocked today, dump their Arbitrum for 92 cents? Probably not. These people are going to be a little bit more sophisticated traders. They're more likely to try to sell at the top. I would say look at Solana as a previous example. You had Solana. These people were getting in at $1, $2, sometimes under $1. I think the first wave was under $1. They got in at $1. Solana goes up from 20 and almost overnight goes to 40. They still didn't take profits because they're sophisticated enough to say, oh, baby, we're pumping this thing to $200. I expect a similar situation to play out for Arbitrum. So the people screeching about the 87% of tokens yet to be dumped, I'm going to say they will dump that in a smart way, and you could dump it at the same time as them and be sitting pretty.
Sure. And a lot of ARB is also being used for incentivization. If you go on Trader Joe or if you go on Camelot or some of the other dexes on ARB, they have token matching programs where let's say Trader Joe goes to Arbitrum Foundation and they say, hey, if you guys commit this many tokens to our liquidity farming pools, then we will match that many tokens in Joe tokens. And so this incentivizes liquidity to come over. I'm bullish on the ecosystem. I agree with you. I think most of these alts are super centralized. And I think that the allocation of tokens for most of these alts are super centralized. So people should be careful. My portfolio is 80%, probably no, 85, 90% Bitcoin and ETH. So I'm pretty risk averse for in a crypto sense.
I'm overly exposed to Cardano, but you know what? I know it. I embrace it, and every 5 days I get that sweet airdrop. So you know what? I'm feeling okay about it. All right. Well, Moby, where can they find your stuff, man? It's been great.
I appreciate you having me on, man. So if you go to Twitter at Moby Media, you'll find us there. And if you want to message anyone from the team, just shoot us a DM. We're pretty quick about responding. If you want to email us, it's marketing@mobymedia.com. And again, guys, it's been a pleasure. And thank you so much for having me on.
All right. Big Daddy, the tank top you threw in your message, I thought it was Ukraine because it was Ukrainian colors. But Big Daddy, that wasn't a very Big Daddy type of thing to say. That was a little daddy. Are you a little daddy, Big Daddy? Maybe you are. All right. Grayscale, let's talk a little ETH here. Now it's time to talk the ETH ETF. We have some hard facts and figures, folks, because that's really what matters here. Grayscale application for ETF on Ethereum has set in motion a 240-day review process, folks. So, Kelly, can you just Google what's 240 days from today on Halloween? And then, so maybe that's a potential timeline. Now, of course,
June 27th.
June 27th. Of course, on June 26th, Gary Gensler comes forward. Oh, well, there's an appellate process review, 15-day window, kick the ball down the field. And then they're going to, oh, well, we have 15 days to respond to that thing that took 15 days. So that might change, folks. But what was that date one more time? June what?
June 27th, 2024, Thursday.
All right, June 27th. All right, potential ETF for ETH there, June 27th there. All right, let's move forward here. We got a couple ETH things that we're going to talk about SBF. Because why? Because we have to. Spot Ethereum ETF to follow the spot Bitcoin ETF, says an analyst. Raoul Paul, Bitcoin bull. So the Bitcoin bull is also for it. So I think we all know it, but we'll stick with the filings, the application dates, the review dates, and we'll keep you posted on the ETH ETFs. All right, here we have a tweet from Jesse Powell, head of Kraken. I think, let's see. Everybody knows that U.S. policy doesn't apply globally, right? So we're hobbling AI, crypto, stem cell research, manufacturing, energy for moral, environmental, existential, or for whatever reasons. It just means that our less concerned rival nations get the uncontested lead. I don't know if y'all guys saw the executive order on AI. Crippling AI. Basically, once an AI gets large enough, you have to register it with the government so they can root out any systemic, what do they call it?
National security concerns.
No, it was biases. So they could root out any biases. So you know how it's like, hey, can you make a positive poem about this president, former president? No, I cannot. Can you make a positive poem about this former president? Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll do it all day. They want to make that stronger. Okay, folks. They don't want to eliminate that. They want to make sure that keeps happening. That's all that is, folks. And if you don't
see that. You just don't know what's happening in the background. And you need to get in the basement. That's what I'm going to say. All right, Stark. We're not going to talk about Stark. That's Johnny's favorite subject. I'm sorry, Johnny. Optimism outshining other L2s. How did OP react? Looks like OP, what do they say? Rallies by over 2%. I would say that's mostly just Bitcoin pumps that are right in the back of that. All right, now it's time to talk about me. Man in the mirror.
Look at the.
Hey, DZ, you're missing one element of your costume. You could pull this up, Drew. This one element right here. Where's the customer funds, bro? Where's the customer funds?
Safu. It is Safu. Okay. The funds are safe. Okay. I didn't give them all to my ex-girlfriend. I did not do that. All right. I did not do that. All right. Allegedly. All right. Inside the trial, Sam wasn't sure nearly 150 times. So how many times did I say, I'm not sure? Just 150. That's normal, right? That's a normal amount. All right. So at one point, they asked him a seemingly simple question during cross-examination. Just to be clear, Sam, you, me, just to be clear, did you take money from FTX to pay back lenders? That's not margin trading, is it? Sam Bankman-Fried, I'm not, I don't think that's what happened. And I'm also not saying that's not margin trading. Judge, man, will you just please answer the question? I'm not sure I agree. I don't think I agree. What? The defense, if Alameda took money off FTX to repay its lenders, that's not a margin trade, correct? I'm not sure I agree with that. It's your testimony that that's a margin trade. It's my testimony that it depends on the details, but that very well could be a margin trade. I'm sorry, it's a hypothetical. I'm speculating here. You were the CEO, right, of FTX. You were like the CEO. You should know what's happening here. Yeah, and you know what margin trading is, correct? Yeah, I'm telling you that sounds like a margin trade to me, but it is speculative. So I don't know what to say about that. Well, this is the question. Yeah, the whole thing's ridiculous, man. We have another super chat from Metro Gamer. Top 5 picks outside top 10 for the next bull run. Save it for the end. Remind me, guys, at the end. Yes. We'll just look at like the top 50. I don't want to go micro cap here. We'll just shout out.
I got some ideas on that for sure.
Yeah, I'll shout out 3 solid projects, and y'all give me one that I maybe missed here. So even though I'm squirming, that's what the reporter said here. There's a few visible signs of frustration or fatigue on the defense attorney on the prosecution as a relentless questioning continued throughout the day. Almost always seem to have some government evidence on hand from press articles or tweets, but usually caught when Bankman-Fried answered a different question than the one she had asked. Press him in again until he got the satisfactory response. So we should know soon, though, with the case proceeding on schedule, the jury is expected to begin deliberations by the end of this week. Absent any further delays, the block will be in there. I heard that the reporters line up at 2 a.m. to get in.
I would believe
it's a very finite space, and then you're in the overflow.
Yep. It's not easy getting that spot up front. You have to work hard for it. So
2 a.m. All right. Well, so what is my testimony going to do? Is it going to hurt me? Is it going to help me? Well, some say it might land me a higher sentence. Gulp. That's not what I wanted to read. So face a potentially higher prison sentence after taking the stand. I was in court last week to present testimony on the collapse of his once $40 billion empire. I don't know why I was still wearing the headphones there. Don't ask me. I'm Sam. I didn't see it in my hair.
Hey, you know what? Sam's going to be able to get a lot of government-sponsored cucumbers. All kind of metrics.
Someone said this is to charge me. What is how would I plug it in? I don't get that. I don't get that one at all.
Plug it in.
Oh man, yeah, I'll be singing. All right, alto. All right, let's see. Twitter. Now let's talk a little Twitter here. Twitter is now worth almost $19 billion. That was kind of a bad deal he got, right? It was $44 billion. And then he's like, Dorsey and the previous I forget the previous CEO, but they handed him a piece of paper, and on this paper is all the Twitter numbers, and it's all accurate. And Elon Musk looked at it, and his team looked at it and said, okay, well, this says, it's probably worth about $44 billion. Hand it to him. Elon signs it with the cucumber, signs it. And then they're like, all right, well, this number says, this is how many active users we have. And you're like, well, that number was wrong. Okay, well, let me see how many bots we say we have. Okay. Whoa, that number was way, way wrong. Okay, well, this is how many humans actually use our platform, right? This has to be an accurate number. Oh, whoa, that was way under too. And so He could have fought it. It looked like he was going to have to buy it anyways, but that was fraud, what the Twitter team did to Elon Musk. That was 100% fraud. They lied to him. They knew they were lies. You read it in the Twitter files. They knew all these numbers were fake. The reason they lied about the numbers, it sounded better to advertisers. It's a lot better saying you have 100 people using your platform versus saying we have 20 humans and 80 robots using our platform. Then Coca-Cola, Toyota, whatever's going to say, well, maybe I don't pay that much for that ad if it ain't 100 humans. I didn't know it was only 20 humans and 80 fake people. That's what they were doing. It was all a facade. Well, now the value is around 19 billion. So I wonder what. Hey, thank you, Altcoin Daily. I went for the Aaron. This is the Aaron, not the Austin.
Yeah.
Aaron has more hair, and so this is the Aaron. I'm guessing that was Aaron. Austin would tell me to get a haircut. So Twitter now worth $19 billion. How does it feel to lose $23 billion, Elon Musk?
He probably paid $23 billion knowing he was just buying a crime scene, overpaying for a crime scene.
Some say he bought it to read his ex-girlfriend's DMs. I don't know what the real answer is. I'm not saying that, of course. I would never say that.
I mean, the value, I think, really is in the access. You know, the access, the infrastructure and access that Twitter provides.
The user base,
yeah, the user base, but then also the access of like actually opening up this control of media that we see pervasively across the world right now, and especially in the U.S. where we're supposed to be a democracy. Well, first off, we're not. We're what is it called? A democratic republic. And it represents, and it's all false. You know, so that's why. This episode, pull this up, Drew. This episode for Sam Bankman-Fried and Twitter is brought to you by Soap on a Rope.
Oh man, I really want to take a bite out of that story right there, but I'm just not going to. Team Bite, by the way, Team Bite, not Team Suck. All right, so the Twitter deals. Here's $19 billion. Oh, another billionaire that lost a lot of money. CZ's net worth is down $80 billion. We covered that on last night's Around the Blockchain. If you want to go back, watch our live from 4 p.m. Eastern time yesterday, we talk about CZ's net worth. That man lost $80 billion. The peak, January 22. So we're just talking about a year and a half. We're not talking about like, oh yeah, the empire over 10 years, collapsed. And the next thing Murdoch was only worth $2 billion. No, that man lost $80 billion.
I'm sure it's going to be tied to the market cycles. Like when we see the next large impulse of users coming in post-halving over the 2024 into 2025, I think his net worth is going to absolutely, explode again. So looking at somebody like that is the CEO of the largest exchange on the planet, his net worth is also going to be tied to that.
If we break it down, he lost $1 billion a week. And so if he's going to exceed that during the bull run, that means his net worth is going to grow like $3 billion weekly for like 30 weeks. That's going to be nuts. All right, well, let's get back to the Twitter here. So we're talking about the $19 billion valuation disseminated to the staff in an internal memo signifies a colossal devaluation from its $44 billion acquisition from Elon Musk just over a year ago. I think it's a year and a day today. Monday, internal communication has decided to bestow equity upon its employees, fixing the rate at $45 per share. In an attempt to rectify the situation, Musk presented stock awards to Twitter employees based on an approximate $20 billion valuation in late March, as reported by The Information. However, financial woes extend beyond valuations and debts. They saw a significant withdrawal of ad revenue as marketers expressed apprehensions over Musk's stance on content moderation, specifically spurred by governmental NGOs, right? Would you agree with that statement, Drew?
100%.
100% NGOs leaned on people. You got the ADL, you got others, and they did the full court press pass against Elon Musk. Elon Musk only saving grace. The Department of Defense loves him because he keeps pumping up the spy satellites. If he wasn't doing that for the Department of Defense, I can't imagine if he would even be alive. I'm going that crazy with it. I don't even know if he'd be alive because he's definitely fighting for free speech.
The White House was very unhappy about the Twitter files coming out and showing the messages from the White House to Twitter execs to silence people.
Well, remember the EV stuff too in the White House?
We can't have truth. Oh my God. That's what the White House is
we just had the big Yale thing where they broke into a message forum, hacked it, stole all the IP addresses, and then said, look at all these crazy things economists are saying in hidden message boards. Clearly, there's room for improvement. It's like, well, you're like, were you the ones putting those fake messages up on that message board? Potentially. All right. So looking at their daily active user, 250 million, folks, 245 million daily active users. I will say this, personally speaking,
Twitter is a much better product today than it was a year ago. Yeah. X has rolled out plenty of new features. They started monetizing it. There more and more features are coming out. We extended the video past 2 minutes, 20 seconds. It's just a better product now. Mm-hmm. Would you two agree or disagree here?
I mean, I agree. I think it's better in the fact that I'm starting to see a little bit of censoring. I even saw one of Elon Musk's posts had a fact check thing on it. But I think I don't even want to get into it. That's a whole rabbit hole around COVID and all this other stuff. But I think it's imperative that people that have degrees should be able to post their thoughts on stuff at minimum, if not other people. I can't believe that we went through a period of time where doctors were being censored because it didn't go with the status quo, the direction the government was trying to lead people.
What are y'all's thoughts on free speech is only government, does not apply to private companies or public companies? I would kind of disagree. I would say here's my counter to that. That worked in the 80s. That's true in the 80s. That was true in the 80s. It is not true today. That's kind of my 2 cents. Well, if you want any kind of real voice.
The most communication happens in a digital sphere now. So we need our rights to be translated over to the digital public square. And that's where we're communicating now. As you said, things have changed. So as far as Twitter opening up the ability for me to speak more freely has been awesome. I'm very bullish on having that ability, but I'm very cautious about it because Elon might just be lining up everyone that disagrees in one spot. So
Elon bought it because the Saudis and Russia wanted an American propaganda machine. No, the American propaganda machine is in full effect right now, and it's everything you see, every news entity, whether it's New York Times, Wall Street Journal, it's left and right, Fox News, NBC News, CNBC, Fox Business News. It's all part of the machine. That is the propaganda machine, and you could tell by Fox News very against TikTok, and then what happened? TikTok became a sponsor. And then next thing you know, the next debate had TikTok questions. And so money drives everything. The biggest defense contractor, there's 5 large ones, Lockheed Martin. If they agree with Lockheed Martin, they're part of the establishment. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, if they don't have their hooks in it, if they don't have an investment or sponsorship from it, they're against it. Yeah. The second they have either partial ownership, look at BlackRock. BlackRock, you wonder why they have such a controlling narrative across the U.S. It's because they have voting rights in almost every major business in America because they've bought themselves onto the boards of all these different businesses. So that's kind of the narrative of what's happened in capitalism.
All right. Well, the narrative now, gaming and AI, folks. We're just run through this, and then maybe we just go into Q&A. What was the smash and pass? Telor, TRB. I don't know. Maybe we'll just go to Q&A. Gaming and AI bulls beginning to show strength, according to this analyst here. Bulls have begun showing strength. So yeah, I just did a short yesterday over gaming tokens. We saw a breakout in gaming tokens. Axie Infinity was up. There's a lot of them that were way, way up. Let me pull this up, and I'm gonna go to AXS. And then I think I can find the gaming ecosystem. Where's the gaming tabs? Where's the ecosystem tabs? Do you guys know on here?
It'd be on CoinGecko. It's in, you got to kind of...
Is it on the top?
Yeah. Be in the kind of the main portion of the side, the home
tabs.
screen.
Where is the tabs? I don't even know where it's at anymore. Historical markets, social security, widgets. I don't know. All right. Well, AXS, I was telling you in that video, maybe the next pumpers. I knew there was going to be a pullback on Gala. I knew there was going to be a pullback on Sweet Love Potion. All right. Let's type in SLP. All right, this is my prediction yesterday in the short that we put out. Oh my God, SLP jump, baby. SLP was up, I think 40%.
Oh my God.
And it said, you know what? Hold my beer. Actually, okay. So it had a healthy pullback, 0026 all the way down to 0023. So that's over a 15. That's about a 15% correction. And then, wow, it's been another 23% pump after that. So, you know what? Hey, you can't get them all right. I still feel like it was a little bit hot, though. And so to our point here, Gala, where's it at? God, there's so many stories here. Animoca. Axis breaks out a 2-month range here as bulls make their intentions clear. So gaming is going to come back, but maybe look out for some of these other gaming ecosystem coins. Sand was another one that I was talking about. I think Sand could be a runner. Decentraland, not Sand, not Sandbox. I'm talking about Mana here. Mana is correcting a little bit, might be a little bit of a pullback there. Nice little pump. So back down to the pre-gaming pump levels, I'd feel okay maybe jumping in on this one. I wouldn't go, hardcore, but it looks like maybe breaking out of this descending trend line right there. So I'll say this, that chart doesn't look terrible.
No.
And Decentraland has a lot of developer activity with the Apple commits there. So maybe a nice little big ecosystem. If you want a safer play because you don't have time to look at the gaming micro caps, I would maybe look at Mana. I keep wanting to mix those two for some reason. All right, Q&A. Oh, we got a little TikTok thing. What's the TikTok thing here? A16Z targets. All right, well, A16Z, Andreessen Horowitz are going to be raising more money. So, yeah, they're feeling bullish. They know there's going to be some great exits about 18 months from now. I'm with them. I agree with that. I don't want to talk about that story. Jesus, why is that up there? All right, let's talk about AI here. AI. No, Q&A. What do we have? Did you pull any questions today, Drew?
Well, we have the question about what are your top 5 tokens.
That's right. That is right. Yeah. So first off, all right. So I'm going to say Chainlink number 1.
Okay.
Cardano number 2.
What is that? It's got to be out
of the top 10.
Let's go a little down.
All right. Chainlink number 1. We still got Chainlink here.
Yeah.
After that, wow, man, I'm really not seeing too much. I like Filecoin. I do like Filecoin. I think ICP could be a runner, but I also like HBAR here. I also like Quant. So that's 5 for me right there. Of those in the top 50, which ones did I not cover that you two are just looking at saying, you got to include this one?
I'd say AVAX. I really like AVAX.
Avalanche.
Yeah, I like, I do think Atom's going to do well. I don't know if it would be one of the 5 I would pick, but HBAR, GRT. Near. I think Near is going to do really well this time. And Quant.
Okay. And Drew, what about you in this top 50?
Yeah, it's with, I'm looking at ICP. I'm holding a bag of DAG, which is like number 435, very low market cap. I like, let's see here. And these are all things that are in my portfolio. I do like Cosmos as well. I'm looking at Avalanche. I'm also looking for a good entry point on Solana, but that's too high up. I'm basically just DAG, ICP, and then you stole my answer on Link because I'm in on that heavily. Yeah,
Drew has more Chainlink than me.
I only heavily overinvested in Chainlink, but ICP, but
Render too.
Yeah, those are basically my favorite. And the real deep pick for me is still Constellation DAG. I still feel very convicted that project's going to absolutely crush in the next
Alden asks, what do I think about Sand? I don't play Minecraft. I'm not the target audience, but it's one of the most popular games in the world. So don't listen to my opinion about Minecraft. I don't think it's fun, so it's not for me. But then it's like super, super popular. So maybe talk to someone who likes Minecraft. I'm going to give you a biased opinion here. The reason I like Filecoin is it's a scalable business model. The reason Helium wasn't scalable, Helium's trying to put physical nodes across the world, right? So in New York City, in San Francisco, in Miami, helium mining was great, right? You got someone within 50 yards in all directions. Well, how does that play out in rural America? How does that play if you're a juror and you're a rural juror? Okay, that isn't going to work. Helium isn't going to work for you. Your neighbor is a quarter mile away. You could have every single neighbor around you has a helium mining setup or a helium node. It won't reach your house, okay? So it only really works in dense populations. So to me, that's kind of a death sentence. It is a death sentence for helium there. If it can't scale across the country there, probably won't. Filecoin can. Filecoin doesn't matter about location. So you can have every single Filecoin node operator is in Wyoming, but then it would still work for the rest of the globe. But physical proximity is not an issue. And so that is a scalable business model or Filecoin. And with AI and computing power and just everything, and we're all going to be rendering special AI school lessons. You're going to watch the Star Wars movie and you're going to type into AI custom magic maker. You're like, well, what if Star Wars was done in the style of Legos and they had Pokemon? Give me the movie. I see that world having a lot of file issues. Yeah. And so to me, that's why I'm bullish on Filecoin.
That's a good take.
I don't know. That's my Filecoin take, folks.
I'm just laughing at the rural juror. That's a hard thing to say.
It is a hard thing to say. The hardest phrase that doesn't sound hard to say 3 times, toy boat. Try it at home. Try it at home right now. No one's watching. If someone's watching, tell me what you're about to do. Say toy boat 3 times. I'll give you a couple seconds. I'll even try it myself since I'm Sam Bankman-Fried. Yeah. All right, here we go. Owen, I'm going to say toy boat 3 times. Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat.
That got off the rails quickly. That went
Do you
wrong.
guys want to try?
Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat.
Toy boat.
Fast.
Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat.
Drew, give me a fast one time. Then we'll end the show.
Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat.
Hey, we're close enough, folks. Hey, if that was good, you had a good time, say it at home. Say it. Rural juror. It's just a fun thing to say, too. I like it. We got the lab maniac here. We got Sam Bankman-Fried. I'm about to go eat my cucumber and go sit on my beanbag. All right. I got Bronze League to get out of. Watch out, Silver.
Ready?